but all the pain has made me tough. I'm just a first class ticket to a lonely grave where the sins of my past are calling my name, and I'll have to answer to every damn one.
It's Monday, June 16th, and you are here for the People's Patriot Project WeP3 Weekly Debrief. We are currently listening to WeP3 Radio, produced with the partnership of Raise Across America Radio, with the mission to remember the fallen, honor those who have served, and to teach the future generations the value of freedom created by the men and women who have served our country. Currently playing on WeP3 Radio, Matt Williams, Heaven and Hell.
Thank you for joining in today with Andrea Eichmann and Mark Peterson of the People's Patriot Project for this week's WeP3 Debrief. Find out what our crew has been working on to help support those who have given some and all to the pursuit of liberty and freedoms across Minnesota and the United States. Watch, listen, and support as we create the beacon of hope and opportunity in today's society that needs its heroes. Are you a veteran, first responder, or a patriot looking for a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and or want to help continue the mission? You have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we want to be the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want to be part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to the WeP3 Debrief. Here's Andrea and Mark letting you know the mission. And as always, Patriot Pride.
What are you doing? Gotta have your mic on.
Oh, yeah. And here we are.
With Andrea Eichmann.
That's so funny.
Patriot
That's so funny.
You say?
That's so funny.
With Andrea Eichmann. Oh, all right.
I like that. Hey, Patriots out there. When we say Patriots, please don't pile in all those people who are chasing their causes in a very not peaceful way. Okay, that's not. Hey, Dylan, Dylan, that's not the patriots we are. We are the patriots that love our country. We love those who serve our country. We love those who serve our communities. We're just here to help them. You guys can do the rest of the battle. We'll just take care of those who have served and are serving. So that's what we do. I don't know if anyway, hey, we are here with our debrief. This is the day after the podcast. The show that we do live and then turn into a podcast. A podcast on the brain because I was just working on the audio for the podcast copy. So we are here to let you know what we've been up to the past few weeks, share what others are doing to help the cause, and thank and congratulate those who we've been getting to spend some time with. We very much appreciate those that we get to spend time with, and we appreciate our sponsors and helpers and creators of our newsletter. Let me just throw out there, Catch 22, the Boho Hobos Hideaway, Contagion Effect, Operation Texas Strong. We've got Derek Iozio, Lauren Iozio, Raquel. Oh my gosh, can I tell you, our member Rocky is killing it. She's killing it today. I got to call her back quick. She solved a problem for us. And all it took for us was a quick call down there and to chat some things out. And then I shared a phone number, and that was her work phone number, and she figured it out for us, you guys. Thank you, Rocky Parfait. I'm also going to share Brian Kenser. He hasn't been with us for a couple weeks again now. He travels. His work allows him to work from wherever he is. So he gets to travel. He gets to captain big ships, big boats. And he gets to work his business. And his business is, oh my gosh, it's all about health. It's all about making good choices. It's all about products that don't harm or damage our environment or our bodies. Here's one of my favorite things, you guys. They're made right here in America. Yeah. So, reach out to Brian if you'd like to discuss with him getting on the right side of your health, how to support American families, jobs, the American economy, and you get to support the WeP3 mission at the same time. Check out his Smart Living channel on the Melaleuca website, and he will answer any questions and help you with any of those decisions. I'm going to admit this, and Peterson's older than me, so let's not even pretend, but I got I had my knees looked at because they hurt a lot, and I do a lot of workouts like lifting weights and lunging and squatting and that fun stuff. And I do think it's fun, but my knees are always hurting, and they found some arthritis crap in there. So there's this stuff called Replenix, and I'm going to try it. This is supposed to be the stuff. This is supposed to be the stuff that will help joints not be so sore. I don't know. I heard a lady talk about it. It came firsthand from her, so everybody's got a product story about something they used, and that's great. I did hear not just a lady, a lot of people. So straight from the mouth of the source, say that it's good stuff. So I'm going to try it. I'll let you guys know maybe in like a week or so. Can I just share one thing that we were up to? I didn't put it in our notes because it was last week. And I should have, because it was after. I mean, we kind of did our debrief. I don't know.
No, we didn't.
We did our debrief from not from the event, but we did our debrief together and talked about the event. Mm-hmm. Well, it was this. I don't know. Whatever.
What are you confused by?
So we went
we
to
have not had a debrief since we did the 2 events last week.
Right. That's what I said. Yes. But remember, we set up on Monday and we talked about.
Oh, our debrief was on Harriet Island?
Yes.
Yeah. We only had one screen.
Oh, one screen and some wind, and it got chilly. Okay. So we did this debrief. No, we did this event. I have to think right now. It's MacV puts it on, and it is called summer salute.
Yep.
And they had their record 77 tables this year. They have a couple of their own. Their number one mission, MACV, is homing homeless veterans that want to be homed. And with that mission comes all kinds of care and referrals and touching base and connecting with homeless veterans. You guys got to know homeless veterans, as any homeless in Minnesota, is freaking cold 3/4 of the year. Mostly.
So the name for MACV stands for Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans.
Thank you very much. There you go, Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans. They have a lot of little programs on the side. I can't say little, but other programs on the side. So they're very in tune. And then I think I counted probably eight of the table people have been on our show right here. They're right here in Minnesota. Some of them are like insurance help. Some of them are, well, the VFW and Legions were there signing people up. You guys got to know that there is just a wealth of resources through your local VFW and your Legion. And thank you, Rocky, because Rocky just went right to the VA with our person today too. Oh my gosh, there's just so much out there, but you have to know how to find it. And so if you're in touch with your VA, they have somebody that will help you. Or your VFW will have somebody, or your Legion, local Legion will have somebody, and they'll help you get there. So we got to sit by Colonel B. Wayne Quist and Dr. Steve Lansing, Vietnam veterans. And they have a series of books. I think, is that the third one, Peterson?
Yes.
Oh, wait, this is volume 3. What's it say at the top?
Oh, this is volume 1. My bad.
Oh, we need to get volume 2. We need to get volume. So I have volume 3. You have 1. It's a series of stories about veterans. This one is about Jeremy, I believe. James? Oh, gosh. This one, no. The other one was different. This one is actually about, it's got some story about Jesse James in here, but it talks a lot about trauma and PTSD when there wasn't even names for that. This one follows the lifetime of the notorious outlaw Jesse James, 1847 to 1882. It includes a psychological profile and PTSD analysis of Jesse James and members of the brutal James Younger gang that was defeated during their attempt to rob the First National Bank of Northfield, Minnesota. My thing is the wrong way. So it's over there, down that. So whatever. It's just a little bit southwest of me. Mr. Stephen Senior Cade teaches down there in Northfield. It's very close to me. And every summer they do a reenactment of the defeat of Jesse James down there. It's pretty freaking cool. My kids, when they were little, freaked out at the fake gunshots. So it was pretty cool. So they're going to give you this unique overview of the impact of PTSD on both Jesse James and an entire generation of Americans North and South from the devastating terror and trauma of Civil War, brutality, and violence. And then it goes on to talk about how that affected Jesse James and the gang. The doc, Steve Lansing, he's got PhD, LICSW, and Vietnam veteran and country, 68 to 70, active duty USA Air Force, 66 to 72, licensed therapist specializing in trauma, PTSD, with a focus on veterans and other victims of severe trauma, mental health specialist, Minnesota Veterans Treatment Court, long-term PTSD recovery, founder of dual recovery program, Empower CTC, Rochester, Minnesota, and he's the president of Veterans Empowered, Inc. in Rochester, Minnesota. And then the Colonel, B. Wayne Quist, USAF retired, private USMCR, Vietnam veteran in country, 64 to 68. He was in the Middle East, 68 to 89. Advanced degrees in management, history, international relations, and psychology. Published author on war, trauma, history, and international relations in long-term PTSD recovery. Secretary Treasurer of the Veterans Empowered Inc. of Rochester, Minnesota. You guys, that's these two guys. I want to be next to their table again next year. Well, we also got Lee and I got a little shot on the news because we were next to them while they were being interviewed. But you guys, if we can't get stories from those who were there, we're going to lose it, right? If you have relatives, if you have stories that have been passed down, you have to get them. I would say down on paper, but we don't necessarily do paper anymore. You've got to put those stories somewhere where they can be saved, because think of the next generations. What stories are we going to tell them? Yeah, we watched the news where people were fighting, right? And yeah. It's cool to hear the stories. It's sad to know that, I mean, these guys are, what did we figure out? If they were 17 when they went to Nam?
Yeah, they would be like right on the edge of 90. I mean, that's.
And they're amazing. They're amazing. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I got these. We've got 1 and 3. We'll get number 2. And wowzers. That was a fun part. There's so much more. What else? What do you want to talk about? Hello, Miss Pamela. Good to see you today.
What do I want to talk about? That's you jumped in right on there and you did a good job. You hushed the beast.
Oh, you're doing other stuff, I see.
No.
Oh.
What do you mean?
You got your typing hands on.
Oh, the typing hands are on. I'm doing some research, but that's always looking, always trying to grow, always trying to build. But when are we? So we're in a tornado warning until midnight. You know that?
Watch. Or warning.
Warning.
For 7 hours?
Up here up in my world, that's what it says. I don't know.
Okay.
So,
well, good thing you're downstairs, dude.
Yeah, I'm in my safe place.
Don't
Lieutenant, I'll go climb my flagpole and Lieutenant Dan this thing.
be.
So I don't know. I probably wear my emotions on my sleeve. Andrew knows me more than anyone else does, and I am happy-go-lucky on here. I really don't get aggressive on here. I'm not really an aggressive person, but of course, I'm not the person you kind of want to corner at any given point. But I need to share a level of frustration. And my level of frustration comes when you're always pointing the finger as to why. Why are we doing it? Now, I get it. There's some people that get to make this decisions and choices that we don't always like. But when did the part of having conversations slip out the door? Why do we escalate to the next step right now? Why are we... Some nasty, nasty stuff has happened here in Minnesota in the last 48 hours. And my heart, thoughts, opinions, ideas go out to the families that have had to deal with this gross, disgusting act. I mean, I don't know if I want to use the word terror, but then we've got both sides of the aisle trying to identify the person that did this nasty stuff. Oh, he's a that. Oh, no, he's a that. It doesn't effing matter. It doesn't matter what he is, what he identifies as. Here's what he identifies. He identifies as a terrible human being that made decisions that ended other people's lives because he got some feelings hurt. That's what he identifies as. That's it. To find out that he'd actually visited 4 homes of politicians that night. And guess what? Other side of the aisle, I'm pissed off. And it was your people. I should be pissed off. Everyone should be pissed off that this was allowed to happen or did happen. Heartbroken that we live in a time and space where there's people that think that it's okay to take these steps and take things into their own hands. And I'm willing to have those conversations. I'm upset that we can't celebrate the Army's birthday because we want to associate it with something else. That doesn't exist. And I get it. I do. I get the narrative. I do get the narrative. But it puts a blemish on all the hard work that others have done. On both sides of the aisle. I'll say it. We have worked too hard to get to these spaces and times. We've worked too hard. We've worked too hard to give everyone a voice. So, I'd like to, at some point, sit down and have real life conversations with people that says we have solutions to fix the problems.
Somehow I knew.
Thank you, Pamela.
I knew, Pamela, that, yeah, I knew I could sense you over there. I actually was just thinking about you as I was talking about these other guys too. We'll definitely keep your number handy for this one.
Really cool story. And this goes out. Thank you, first responders involved in this stuff. And the fact that it was a nasty 48 hours of grossness. But a captain is walking out of the precinct in Brooklyn Center, and he's off duty. And he hears a message come over the radio that there has been some kind of incident in Champlin. Now, Champlin and Brooklyn Center are probably 8 minutes apart from each other. I mean, they actually butt each other, to be honest with you. They're right next to each other. But the way that, and this captain, I want to find out his name and just say, thank you for the witness. Decides to, and unfortunately he was too late. He decides out of nowhere, because the precinct in Brooklyn Park is just right up from Edinburgh, which is a golf course area. And he was just going to go do a drive-by. And probably terrible choice of words at this point, but he was going to drive through the community of Speaker Hortman's home. And he pulls up as this coward is in the act of doing what he's doing. And that's terrible. But the reality is, because of that captain taking the time to do that, they were able to seize the vehicle that he had that looked like a cop car and was full of more weapons. And they figured they stopped a number of the continuation of what he had planned for that evening. And I'm just like, without the witness of our first responders, just think about, some of the loss that we would have. But then we've got another space in our world where they're dropping Molotov cocktails on top of them. And it's a frustration. It's a frustration. We all have what we have because of the men and women who have wore uniforms. A, as service members in the military, and B, the first responders that protect our streets and our homes and our property and our lives. And so that's where I'm at. It's going to take me a minute to sort this off in my head. It's not a piece where I'm going to attack anybody. It's a piece where I'm going to want to have real conversations I belong to some organizations that put out a narrative in some words that I don't necessarily agree with. I don't agree upon the approach, and they talk out of both sides of their mouths, and that's a frustration. Stop talking out of both sides of your mouth and let your yes be your yes and your no be your no. And if you're working for society and community in a better place and a better home for all of us, then let that be the answer and the mission. But don't. It's not one person gets better treatment. It's not one person gets better programs. It's not that. It's let's work together. Dr. Arnell, you're awesome. I appreciate you. Dylan, we see you out there, brother. We see you, man. So let's get to, because we did two events this week. Andrea already talked about the Summer Salute with MacV. And then we also had the awesome opportunity to go to a Beyond Yellow Ribbon event down in Rosemount and got to see one of our amazing musicians, JT and the Gunslingers. And it was just absolutely fun to sit and watch and relax and listen to people and let them say, oh, yeah. It was so fun to sit and watch people walk by. Our booth looks like a Wreaths Across America booth right now. It looks Christmassy. No one thinks about Wreaths Across America, or maybe they think about Wreaths Across America, but you don't think about wreaths and Christmassy things during June. But a number of people walked by our booth and said, yeah, that's something I need to remember to do. And we're like, yeah, we can do it right now. Let's get it done. Beer, 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 beer. And we did get a number of re-sponsored. Did you say 50? That microphone works better when it's on.
It wasn't really a ton, but considering the fact that nobody seemed to do it right there, like, I don't know if they realized how easy it could be, but yeah, people just kind of went home and maybe they had to think about it. Maybe some of them ordered more.
Maybe we can give some kind of I don't know. Here's the deal. Yes, I don't want to spend money to sell wreaths. I mean, it's okay to do that, but is there a trinket we could come up with? And if we had an iPad sitting there and said, hey, get your wreath now for Fort Snelling's National Cemetery, and you get this commemorative. Well, we should. That's where we should get a co-branded, blah, 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 co-branded. Well, who wants an ornament in June? We should give them a margarita. And a margarita.
I am not disagreeing on that. That works.
Nigel Fisher, we're going to see you here real soon. In fact, I have a meeting with you.
Hello,
Nigel Fisher is with Guitars for Vets. And we're going to have him here real soon. Definitely an important mission. And of all that are talking about this. Absolutely. Get it done, brother. Nigel, do you work with the cemetery for yours?
We have Fort Snelling. This is what we do. We do the Fort Snelling, which is a very large cemetery, and we don't have a really large number of Pamela's going right to the Long Island tea. We're skipping the margarita. Going to Long Island tea. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And you can only have one, and that's the rule. Yeah.
Oh, that seems silly. What if I just sponsor more wreaths? Can I have a second one?
No. One. Limit one. We don't need you dancing around with those teas, Eichmann. Keep doing the good work, brother. Jeff Pierce is an amazing guy. That team over there is awesome, and they'll take good care of you.
That's awesome, Nigel. That is awesome. Anyone listening, you could be a sponsorship group at wherever. Like I did one down by Milwaukee. It was a smaller one for the People's Patriot Project. And then we coordinate and host at Fort Snelling. But then we're also going to look at being a sponsorship group for a couple down in Louisiana as well. And then we're going to work on, I think we would like to start big, but I think we're going to work on, in the state of Minnesota, there are 4 other cemeteries that are not nearly as big as Fort Snelling, where they do the Fort Snelling or the Wreaths Across America wreaths. They are sanctioned. Is that the word I'm looking for? By Wreaths Across America. But then we have people just here and there that want to put wreaths on their loved one's grave who served, and they don't know how to get those wreaths. And so we're going to try to coordinate another little extra where you can come pick up your wreath and take it to your cemetery. Of course, we want it to be bigger, but it's got to start somewhere. And so manpower limits us just a little bit because it's us right here. Mostly, Stephanie Hunter was just trying to call, and I'm guessing she wants to ask about Wreaths Across America. But there, you can always get a wreath and put it on your loved ones. There's even ways to order them to be delivered to your house. That gets a little spendier. But we had a lady at the summer event out in Maine at the tree farm last year. Stem to Stone, it's called, and it's just really it's almost like a retreat. It was 4 or 5 days that we went there, and we had the most amazing guy. Andy took care of us, and that means he kind of became our private chauffeur, which I'm not saying that to get him in trouble. Amanda was in our group. She was on our show a few weeks ago, and she knew what she wanted to do. And so Andy was at our beck and call. And so we made several rounds of trips up on the tip line where they make those wreaths, or where they cut the trees that make those wreaths. Anyway, I forgot where I was going. Oh my gosh. What was I going to say? Sheepers, it was such a good story, you guys. My brain's tired.
I don't know what you're going to say, but
what on earth was I going to say? Oh my gosh.
Consider. And if you need to, you can, friends and family are in
he
the
feels
house.
my pain right now. He feels my pain.
You can scan this code real quick. Andrea will put up a link real quick. If you would indulge, you can put where you want your wreath delivered, all the pieces above, or you just want to sponsor a wreath, you can do this QR code real quick, and then also get in there. You can also be a sponsoring group. If you apply with Wreaths Across America and you think you're going to get out there and sponsor a bunch of wreaths, you can become a sponsoring group. You can do the 3 for 2 program. You can do the buy one, get $5 back program for sponsorships. And just it helps organizations do what they need to do. And so we want to fill Fort Snelling. It is almost 200 veterans. It's 300 interments, but 198,000 veterans, because not only there's more than just veterans in our national cemetery. And so, but anyone can buy a wreath for their loved ones, and anyone can sponsor. I say sponsor, not buy. Sponsor. There's rules. Yep. You got to use rules. But take care of our veterans, and they're not veterans. Take care of our soldiers who lost it. Good to see you, Crochet. Good to see you, man. Let's get into last night's show.
Let's get into last night's show. Let's talk about this.
What am I supposed to be the one that talks about the? Yes, I am.
Yes,
our guest last night. Our guest was Robin Johnson. I forgot to put Phoenix in there, but Phoenix she jokingly said is her stage name. Not it is her stage name, but then we have stripper names like Pause is my stripper name, and so uh, you should see me do that booty drop. That is pretty exciting.
Oh my gosh, what is going on?
Miss Johnson is an Army veteran and subject matter expert on applied and therapeutic humor. She runs an organization, and I'm not seeing the name of the organization, so I'm having one of those moments, Miss Eichmann.
Oh yeah. Let me look.
Yep. It's the Brigade.
Yes, it is called the Brigade. It's called the not on our. Oh my gosh, we have everything else about her.
How embarrassing is that?
Oh my gosh.
Having a moment.
Hang on,
Moment.
I got
It
this.
is.
I got a big email from her.
Well,
The Best Medicine Brigade.
Thank you. The Best Medicine Brigade. And they use humor as a way to reach our veterans. You know, it doesn't always have to be the hum and glum and the sitting on your couch and the not being able to figure it out. And there is a monster amount of comedians out there. Last night after our show, and this was kind of a off the subject, on the subject kind of scenario. Last night after our show, I noticed that Adam Bird was on another podcast doing his thing, and they were showing a Marine comedian on their show, and no one knew who it was. Who's this comedian? And I'm like, I know that comedian because we've had that guy on our show. It was Travis Howes. And so I wrote into him. I said, hey, that's Travis Howes doing Marine comedian stuff, kind of being mean to the Navy men and women. Talked about having semen all over them. When he got in a fight, he got all these semen over. It's terrible joke, but that's what Marines do. They have terrible jokes. He was saying his thing, doing his thing. But last night we had Miss Robin Phoenix Johnson on, and she runs a number of programs. She's working on right now a program called HEAL, HEAL, Arius, which brings innovation, levity as a complementary resource to the care and needs of veterans. They don't necessarily work with first responders. We do, so we plug those people in there. The applied and therapeutic use of humor allows participants to use comedy to engage in the process of cognitive restructuring thoughts from negative to positive. Miss Johnson has a lengthy record of representations of her humor. She's trying to pull it back a little bit. They do put her on Vet TV with her humor, but she's kind of taken that leadership role right now, and she's trying to work in some spaces where maybe the funny and the dark humor doesn't necessarily fit the niche. And so I don't know, I couldn't get a feel whether she was upset about that or just realizing that you got to have the reins on something sometimes, and she's doing her thing, and it's amazing seeing her work. It was fun having her at the helm of the show last night, only in the fact that our show, we started off as a 1-hour show back in the day, and we have slipped into easily a 2-hour show. And she had mentioned that she had to deal with some family stuff last night, but sitting down and talking with her and talking with our amazing musical guest last night, everything was just clicking right in order. And then we got all her stuff in about an hour with our musician stuff. And then we kind of drug her out again after she left. And so maybe we should have her on more often. We'd have shorter episodes. Not that the short is less content. It was just, it was targeted content. Like, boom, hit the point.
Well, when we both our guests are very familiar with, what they want to share. And so they both brought it right up front, and they brought it up quickly, and they were both very amazing. So our musician last night was Casey Beck. I popped in the middle of the conversation between he and Mark, and super full of energy and enthusiasm and lots of things to share, in addition to his service and his music. But he's working on some new stuff. He gets to work with John Rich, and I didn't put his name down, but I think it was Byron. I can't think of his name. But he'll be working this summer. This summer's going to be a bomb for him. He is always spinning new music, and this summer he's got a plan. Luke Bryan's guy named Kevin reached out to Casey during COVID because, they just weren't as busy, and he reached out. He's like, dude, let's do some stuff. And so he's got Kevin helping him with backgrounds. He's got a lot of, sometimes you throw it. This is kind of weird because last weekend, our band guy is very, very connected. This weekend, our band guy was very connected, and it's just kind of fun hearing all the names. So last night we started out with Hicks from the Sticks, and the ending is left a little bit unfinished on this version just because I think he wants to do more with it, but he wanted to get it out there. Pretty sure the name speaks for itself. We're just Hicks from the Sticks. The next song that he shared is called 35. He wrote this a couple of years ago. I don't know how old he is, but when he was 35, he wrote this. And it's really just to tell the story. The premise of it reminded me a little bit of the the Don't Blink song. And of course, I couldn't name who it is, but just like here we are at 35. 35 is cool, but we don't get to stay here, kind of thing. Then the last song is a tribute to his old truck.
You said the F word.
Ford truck, his old Ford truck.
Oh,
He loved
yeah,
his. We all have a car that not everybody's gonna love that we love, right? Mine was a Chrysler Sebring, so yeah. And
I thought you were gonna say Jeep. Sorry, my bad.
I do love my Jeep. I love it a lot. It's a little tender right now because we have a little dysfunction in our relationship for a minute. I gotta tell you about summer school. I might die, but anyway, he was talking with such fond love for this old Ford truck, cruising down the highway, hanging out, listening to music, going out and hanging with friends. He just wanted to recreate the sound, the feeling. This song he calls Hearts and Tires. And it's not exactly like, but the feel, the sensory touches around it reminded me a lot of, was it Bonfires and Backyards, Backroads and Bonfires from last weekend?
Yeah.
Just the whole, what do we do when we just need to chill? We just want to hang out with our friends and just do what we do. I don't know. I guess that's how it made me feel. And so Casey will probably be on again. He just had all kinds of cool stuff. So once he gets some of that new music rolling, we'll bring him in again and we'll have him share some things. He did also share a lot of his service experience and the fact that he really, really, really had to work hard to get some of his memory functions back in order. It's really hard to be a musician and sing songs if you don't remember the words. And so that was part of it. And just a heck of a guy. So thanks.
You know what else? We missed something very important.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Do you know what this weekend was?
The birthday of the Army? Actually, you said it, but yeah.
Boom. Happy birthday, Army. 250 years. You did it.
We're not going to say we're biased, but maybe Peterson served in the Army and not Marines, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, all of space. He might have been an Army guy. Sorry to the rest of you.
Maybe they're all Army guys on here.
Dude, I should have worn my army hat in support of that. Shoot.
You should have done that in support of that.
Well, I moved my office into this little tiny space. I'm not 100% sure where my hat is right now. Huh.
What song do you think we should end on today?
Hey, what do we have? Do we have anything of JT?
No, we don't. Sadly.
No. Are you sure?
We'll take 5 minutes for you to go look for it if you'd like.
Where would I look for this?
Well, right in the list of songs, right there on the side.
IJ.
Nope, there won't be any of those. If you didn't put it in there, they won't be there. And now you change their station.
What on earth is feeding the ducks? Can you settle down? He keeps showing the army thing. Look at this. You guys ever see such a cool picture? All right.
You find that JT song yet?
Can I think we should play Hearts and Tires.
Hearts and Tires.
I think we should
do got anything else we need to sing before we leave here?
I checked our notes, I think. I mean, we have a lot of meetings. Oh, next week's guest.
All right, I'll be serious now.
I'm not even watching. So, by the way, those of you that are watching, we do this live on Rumble on Sunday nights too. So if you're a LinkedIn fan, if you're a YouTube fan, and otherwise Facebook, we do these live now on all those stations, and we're working on more. So Peterson's figuring out the world of technology. So on the 22nd of June, which is this coming Sunday at 1800, we've got Mr. Lewis. Is it Stocky or Stockney? I feel like
Stockley.
Stockley. I swear I copied and pasted, but I might have missed a letter. It didn't feel right. And then we have Scott D. Taylor bringing us some music. Not D like our other D in the middle friend.
Whoa.
What did you say?
What did you say?
Where did all of our stuff go?
What stuff?
Where's all our comments? So Peterson figured this stuff all out. And
will you go back to the right channel, please?
Did that sound like whining to anybody else?
No.
That sounded like 100%. My principal, my summer school principal, sits right outside my door. And I honestly, this is the edge I hit today. This is the edge. I'm going to yell, so cover your ears. I did this. Can you stop breaking all the pencils? I did that. Okay, here comes my therapy dog. What are we doing? I set the pencils down. I said, we don't have Chromebooks. Put things back the way you got them or you won't get them. Do you know how many broken pencils? These are 8th graders, people. These are 14-year-olds. Anyway, so I yelled at Mr. Adaman came in. He said, is everything going okay in here? And I said, I think it is, as long as they don't break my pencils anymore. These are gifts, and they're breaking them.
Why are they breaking your pencils?
Have you never worked in a middle school?
Well, yeah, I kind of do.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you give them pencils. They break them.
They just break
There's
them.
A lot of little sword fights going on, and then one would grab it, and then the next thing you know, they got it. Because this is cool for middle school boys. By the way, my class is very heavy. You know, you do this, then you break it, and then you're cool. Except with your teacher. You know what I was going to share about Reads Across America?
Yeah, tell me.
The lady that told her story about over the river and through the woods and climb the hill and the face of the mountain. She honestly had to put her stakes in and climb up the face of a little mountain to take a wreath. I think there were 3. She carried 3 and went to these way graves out there. I mean, they could have been Civil War. Could they have been Civil War? I mean, I don't know. It's out on the East Coast. Things are a lot older out there than they are here. But anyway, amazing story of determination to take those wreaths to some far, far out graves of veterans their family had asked, and she wanted to make it happen. So she did it. That's what I wanted to share. That's why it was such a good story. And now
It was awesome.
Yes. I don't have that story to tell. We don't have faces of mountains to climb here in Minnesota.
No,
So
just go out in the big 50-acre plus cemetery that you can't see the ends of it.
actually, it's 436.3 acres.
Thank you. I knew it was bigger than that, but I didn't know the details. But I appreciate you sharing that. That's awesome.
I just happened to have it open. I was curious.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm done. I've talked too much.
You got it. We got it. Hey, thanks everybody for showing up here for our weekly debrief. And again, we got more exciting stuff coming in the future. We just got to get it all planned, put in place, and have a team that will work on it and make sure it gets done. Again, I do want to do a shout out to Rocky Parfait today, and the fact that she solidified, took care of, and made sure the ask of a veteran that came in was taken care of and all good. And thank you for the hard work you do, and thank you for the WeP3 team for all the work that you guys do. Come check us out this next coming Sunday at 1800 Central Standard Time. Miss Eichmann already shared the guests, and we'll see you on Mondays on our weekly debrief. And now we have the one and only Casey Beck with Hearts and Tires. Is that the one you wanted?
Yes, please.
Hearts and Tires. Boom. Patriot Pride.